Hello friends, welcome back. BigDenoPlays Dragon Eclipse time, episode 3. I don't think this is a super long campaign, maybe 10 to 15 scenarios. So we're maybe at the end of this we'll be a quarter of the way through, probably something like that. It's great fun so far. It's absolutely glorious fun so far. You can't see in front of me, I've painted 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, I've painted 15 of the little guys so far. and it's super cool. They look awesome. They're a really unique style of figure. They look and feel like the source material with which they were inspired by, which we shall henceforth only ever speak of them as Mystlings because it deserves it. The game's that good, it deserves to be called Mystlings. Let's go. I haven't chosen a scenario yet, but I have prepared 2 decks, which I'm assuming will be the 2 that I want to play. One is the Luminesca, who was fun, and the other one is the Elk Thorn. We're going to play the big guy, which we got in the last episode, which is amazing. He's got 20 health too, so I'll just prepare this in case we want to use him. I have no idea how to play him, so that's quite fun. But yeah, let's load up this and let's have a bit of a look at this map in close. So we have a scenario C or scenario D, Cold Trail. I'm inclined to go for scenario D, Cold Trail, because I think it will be a little more interesting. So let's try D0.
You are ceaselessly troubled by the memory of the ominous arrivals who have slain the Dragon Guardian. Their shadowy shapes come to your mind the moment you close your eyes and haunt every dream. The only thing you know about them is that they come from another reality and have emerged in yours during the eclipse when the barrier between the worlds was torn. Even more disturbing is their apparent ability to use terrible powers. Otherwise, how would they have managed to kill a formidable legendary dragon? All things considered, the arrivals may pose a serious threat to Caerberg. Therefore, you must track them down and figure out if they are as sinister as they seem. And if it is so, find a way to stop them. Also, since they are presumably connected to the eclipse, perhaps you will learn a thing or two about the nature of that world-shaping disaster.
Okay, powerful, agile wind and darkness enemy. Food may come in handy. I do have a food. That's cool. Okay. I don't think we really have anything specifically that counters wind. There is actually a little thing in the book here, now that I think of it, that talks about the elements. I'm sure it was in here somewhere, or maybe it's in the other book. There's definitely a component of elementals, you know, very circular. This element is better for this element. I'll have a look in this book because it might be in here. I just want to see if there is a specific. I'll find it later on, I guarantee you, and it will be annoying. Okay. I'm going to definitely do this one because I have the food and I have the ability to handle a darkness enemy with the Luminesca. The wind, I'm not sure, but it would be cool to capture a wind because I don't have a wind elemental, and that would be really good because I've got 2 legendary wind cards, which is Lightning Strike, and Gale Force Gambit. Incredible. 2 really cool cards. So we'll go with this. Continue. I've done that already. Does time passes status? No, we do not have time passes.
When you set off to follow the trail left by the assailants from the dark world, the moons separate and the sun finally rises. Your head still hums with images you cannot really comprehend. The eclipse and all those gaps in reality, together with the dying dragon guardian and the ominous humanoid creatures, were enough to baffle anybody, but it was only the beginning of wonders. The body of the dead dragon began to change rapidly until it became a low hill, overgrown with grass, flowers, and small trees. If you hadn't been in a hurry, you would have spent more time there, exploring it, just to make sure you weren't hallucinating. The future of the town, however, is more precious to you. As you go south and plunge into the dark depths of the forest, you notice that a flock of Mystlings that witnessed the dragon's death is heading west, toward Kayberg. A conglomeration of Mystlings of all sorts and tempers does not bode well, but you can only hope that the city's tamers will manage to put an end to any trouble from the creatures. Meanwhile, you continue your journey through the forest. Soon the thick canopies cover the sky, and the darkness of the ancient forest surrounds you. You don't understand the sounds emanating all around you, some of which are truly unsettling. Disturbed and exhausted, you press on. There is far more in your heart than just fear and anxiety. After long days in the town, you are at least a little excited to finally embark on your journey. You follow the forest path, desperately looking for tracks, but there are almost none. The invaders left a lot of tracks in the fight, but the farther they ran, the more attention they paid to erasing their trail. You suspect they must have had an earth mistling to help them. Suddenly, a gust of wind envelops you, and you notice a windraiser cowering behind a tree. You approach slowly, fairly sure you're facing a runaway from Kayberg, and speak to it in a relaxing manner, which turns out to be a terrible mistake. This windraiser is wild. The creature hisses at you with fury. Great! A full-grown windraiser is no small challenge.
Great. Set up combat. Nice to dive into a combat straight away. Always good. No major corruption for 2 players. We're on map 3. I think this is the first time we've had a map 3, which is cool. That goes about there, doesn't it, Deno? Yes. Arena card 34. It's a clever little system, I will say, to be able to take one arena card and completely change the context of this single map. So we're going to place a geyser in each. Ooh. In each one of those. So geyser. When you end your turn in a space adjacent to an active geyser, gain 1 power. Okay. Geysers with plant are not considered to be active. Interesting. All right. We have to do 171, 172, and 173. So we have a windraiser, and we can tame it. Nice. See if we can add this windraiser to the team. What do we need to do? Have 4 or less health, and then deal at least 1 damage to the windraiser when all geysers are active. Okay. A lot of speed, not a lot of defense. Not surprising, really. 20 health. So I think we'll take the Elkthorn. We're going to be in position 2. The big Elkthorn, and the windraiser is in position 1. The enemy deck includes 2 triangles, 3 of this little symbol, and 3 squares. Interesting. And the special ability is on 2. Additional setup. Place a tornado in each one of these spaces. All right. Tornado, tornado, tornado. I'm excited. It's going to be great. All right, let's flip this and so it's moving tornadoes. All right. And so yes, we are going to go for our other friend, which is not the Luminesca. It is the Elkthorn. So the Elkthorn has Enrage. And it actually has a combat quest, which is to attack 3 times in 1 turn. And I'm actually going to try and do that. I'm going to try and achieve that in this mission. Attack 3 times in 1 turn. We've actually got a card that lets us attack twice. Rampage. And we can potentially combine that with his Restlessness. So let's see. Let's see if we can do it. We don't have any power. Attack 3 times in 1 turn. Okay, so the Windraiser is moving 1 tornado, but not in range 1, or in a space with the opponent by 1 space towards the opponent and trigger. What does trigger do for them? That's an interesting question. Resolve another card. When the enemy triggers, resolve another enemy card. Wow. Each opponent gains 3 damage for each tornado within range 1 of them. That is awful. We might not be taming this Windraiser. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this looks pretty powerful. This Elkthorn is already my new favourite. Move an opponent in range 3 by up to 2 spaces away from you. Each space must be farther than the previous one. Our movement is 2. The Windraiser is moving a tornado and then it's triggering. I don't know what the next card is. Ah, very cool. Very cool. So, and what happens when we move into a geyser? When a Windraiser resolves and there's at least 1 tornado adjacent. Okay. You and the enemy can't move or be placed in a space with a geyser. Right. Well, I really want to get to 4 power so that I can get rage, but weak. Vine Tempest. Deal 3 damage and weak in any range in line. This is awesome. Okay, let's do this. We're going to play Push, which is one of our advancement cards. So we're going to gain 3 power. 1, 2, 3. We're going to spend 2 of that to trigger. And we're going to trigger Reach, which is going to gain us 1. And we're going to place that underneath the Elkthorn. And that gives our items 1 range. And we're now going to move. Are we going to move? No, let's keep the power. So that's it. These move up. This goes here. This goes here. Oh my god. Yeah. So we're going to do weak next turn, which will be very, very cool. All right, so we are currently in range 1 of a tornado. So the Windraiser is going to go, it's going to play this card, triangle. Move one tornado that is closest to the opponent into a space with the opponent, one space towards it, and trigger. So we're going to do that. I'm going to flip that over. We're going to move this to here. And we're going to do the triangle. Deal slow in range 3. So we are now slow, which means we are movement -1. I haven't used any slow tokens yet. I might grab out another thing for tokens now, since this is the first time I've seen those come into play. Slow, that looks like slow. It's a boot in water. Blink 4 away from the opponent. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we are now slow. This flips, and this is now going to trigger. Each opponent gains 3 damage for a tornado within range 1 of them. So there's 1 tornado. So we're going to gain 3 damage. 17. Slow is movement. Rush, retreat, move is reduced to 1. It cannot be increased by movement modifiers. Now, when the Windraiser resolves its special ability, which it has, we're going to place this on the geyser. So that geyser is active when you end your turn adjacent. Okay. So we need to blink, but we don't have a blink. Water, gain rage. I wanted to do this one, but... So square is rush and attack +4. And if you're earth, it's attack again. Oh no, we've made a terrible call. And his movement 3. 1, 2, 3. Alright, well we need to get out of there. So we're just going to spend... Yeah, we're going to play Elkthorn's Rampage. And that's going to allow us to gain Rage. Rage! And 3 power. But we're just going to take 2. And we're going to move 1 space backwards. And we discard 1 slow at the end of our turn. So this Mystling will go now. So we don't end next to that. So he's going to do this one. And that is going to be rush. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And attack 4, attack 4. Doesn't get anywhere near us. So he's going to move the tornadoes again. That's going to do a lot of damage to us. A lot of damage to us. Oh, I forgot to move these up. 1, 2, 3. Ooh. Yeah, I think we need to run away. Run away, run away. Because he's going to trigger, and I don't know what that trigger is. What a cool fight. What a cool fight. Okay. I can just trigger rage, rage, rampage, rampage. So remember, our reach is actually +1 at the moment because of our card reach. So we are in range to attack. So I'm going to discard my Invigorating Water. The Elkthorn is as powerful as it is. The Elkthorn is powerful as it is, but it wants to become even more fierce. Attack 3 times during 1 turn. When you fulfill this quest, flip this card. I'm going to discard this in combat. The effect of the next card you play during this turn is resolved twice, except for the trigger effect. So we're going to play Rampage, which is attack +2, so an attack 5, then attack +2, attack 5, then attack +2, and then attack +2. Oh no, that's okay. Oh no, that doesn't work, Deno. If you have rage, attack 2, and discard rage. Alright. So we need to get discard. So we could attack, we could hit and run. Yeah, we need to get up to 8. Yeah, alright, let's do this. We'll do an attack, hit and run. We're going to go down 1, 2 to 18 because our attack is 3. And then we get to move 1, 2, and then we can actually move one more time. We'll actually move to there 1, 2 like that. Yep, that's fine. Okay, so this slides across. We're going to activate this. No, it is the attack one. That's punishing. Yeah, I should have gone for this. Damn. That was greedy from me. Oh, hang on, that was in the bottom slot, wasn't it? Yeah, so I get 1 power. That was greedy. That was silly. Silly stuff. Bark skin. Alright, so anyway, this card, move 1 tornado. We're going to move that tornado to here. And we're going to activate the second geyser. And as close as the opponent, but not in range 1. Then it's going to trigger. So before that happens, it's now going to deal 3 damage for each tornado within range 1 of us. So we're going to go down to 14. And these go away. And then he's going to trigger, which is this one, which is rush, attack +4, pierce 2. Oh, goodness me. What does that do? That does 6. And then 2, that's 8 damage. We're down to 6. Alright. This has gone differently to what I expected with my super uber powerful Elkthorn. But he is here. Okay. But now we know the triangle is deal slow. Move and attack 2. So how do we avoid this now, Deno? We can deal with, we really should have done the weak, just in case that square was there. This is awesome. Like, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of decisions here, but there is a lot of decisions. If you have rage, deal 7 in range 1 and discard rage. If you have rage, bark skin. So that's +2 attack. So we could just discard that and then go rampage, and that'll do attack 8. No, attack 7, and then attack 7, which is 14, leaving him alive on 4. So we can't do bonus actions in between. I don't want to end next to that. Fine, Tempest, reduce this by that. So we know the triangle is just going to deal slow and he's going to blink away from us. So the tornado is going to chase us. So we need, if we just knock it down, we actually end the fight. If we get it down to 4 health. 14 and 14 is 4 health. Place any card from your discard pile on top of your discard pile for 4. Okay, I think we're going to do this. We're going to spend 1 power to discard Barkskin so it's on top of our deck. If we have Rage, we get +2 attack. We're going to activate Rampage. That gets us 2 power, 1, 2, for a total of 6. If you have Rage, attack, attack, at +2 and +2. So that's 5, 7, 7, 7 is 14. So we just did 14 damage. He's down to 4. So that triggers the first of our taming conditions. We've got him down to 4 health. Scare it. It's scared. However, we now lose Rage. If we had any way to get up to power 8, this slides up. Now we want to move. We'll spend a power to move 1, 2 to here, and that's fine. Hit and run. Barkskin. Barkskin seems so good. Now we could spend 4 power to put Barkskin back on top. If you have Rage, otherwise gain 2 shield. We know that this triangle is not an attack. We know that the next card is not going to do any damage. And we know that that is not going to be blocked. The special ability is not going to be blocked by the shield. So we'll save our 4 power. So his turn, he's going to do this. The triangle, he's going to slow us. He's going to flip that. And he's going to deal slow in range 3. Blink 4 away from the opponent. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Wonder if we... Where was he here? Wonder if we went here instead. Slow. Where? No, that's fine. That's fine because we're playing Gore. We're just going to rage and play Gore. Yep. Cool. Now this triggers, that does 3 damage to us. We're down to 3 health. These go away. We're going to deal Gore. If you have Rage, deal 7 in range 1. We're going to spend 4 to enrage. We gain Rage. Deal 7 damage in range 1. Oh, no, in range 1. Oh, what's the one? Oh, yeah. Deal 3 damage and weak in any range in line. There we go. 3 damage. That deals at least 1 damage when all geysers are active. It actually doesn't kill the Windraiser either, if that matters. And we've now tamed the Windraiser with 3 health left. Jeepers. The Elkthorn. All right, cool. So we successfully defeated the battle. Tame, go to script D24.
The Windraiser looks around, a little startled by the damage it has done, but then it fixes its look on you. It seems to be intrigued by the bond you have created with your creature, and doesn't move back when you approach it slowly. It's a promising beginning. Suddenly, it dawns on you why the town Windraisers have no such power. This one here has suddenly understood its might, which filled it with crippling fear.
Each Mystling heals up to half of their HP. So he's 20, so he's going all the way up to 10. And we're going to add the Windraiser card, 173. We do already have the Windraiser in there, so we're going to add the Taming card. And we now have access to a Windraiser, should we wish to play as a Windraiser. Interesting. I don't think we will, but We do have some strong Windraiser cards. Well, some strong air cards that might make that worthwhile. So we have a Windraiser. Okay. Clear the arena and go to script D4.
Your blood still hot after the clash with the Windraiser, you continue on toward the heart of the forest. As you look up, you spot heavy clouds amassing above treetops. It is a clear warning that you should hurry. The rain might wash away all traces.
Gain Secret 31. Oh, okay, this is interesting. Carefully read the secret rules as they are crucial for this scenario. Alright, let's do this. Signs suggest that a looming downpour may hinder your chase. You have to get there before the rain at any cost. When you're instructed to move the time, place 1 on this card. When there are 6, immediately go to script D11. This leads to the end of the scenario. Okay, good to know. We do not have the time passes status, do we? Nope.
You're about to set off, but hardly do you take your first step when you hear a familiar voice. "Hey, wait up!" You turn around to see Mildred catching up with you. "I've been following your tracks since your fight," she explains, catching her breath. "I've sent the rangers to scout the area around Keiberg, but I want to join you myself. I would like to reveal the secret of the portal too. It doesn't seem safe, even if it is just a thin line now. To be honest, I'm terrified." You don't know whether you like the idea of her company. She doesn't give you a chance to rethink and adds, "The search is not going to be easy. Our enemies don't wish to be found and do everything to avoid that. They split, they go back on their tracks, rapidly change direction and stay away from the wetlands. So far, we've only tracked down Mystlings and animals. Intelligent beings are a bit of a novelty for us."
Gain the Tracker Part 5 status. Gain Secret 32 and go to script D29. Secret 32 is Mildred. Cool. Hi, Mildred.
You enter a sinister part of the forest where the sunlight hardly ever penetrates the thick of the canopies. Your gut feeling tells you that the invaders must have gone this way, but another thing catches your attention. A furwing is resting in the middle of a glade, seemingly wounded.
Alright, we are opening map 6. Right, here we go. Oh, look at this. Look at this beautiful artwork, Deno. And we got Mildred. Okay, there's a furwing, it's wounded. Just in case you're wondering, here's the furwing. He's wounded. Let's go save him. There's tracks. I can see some tracks over there. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. Secret numbers, don't know, are there hidden numbers? I don't see any hidden numbers at this point in time. No, I definitely see no hidden numbers. Zach. Let's go see if we can save that wind furwing friend. Do we have the empathy part 3 or 4? We do not have empathy part 3 or 4. No.
A wounded furwing is cowering under a tree in the center of a clearing, its chest rising and falling unevenly. The mistling is half conscious, yet every now and then a snarl or yelp escapes its mouth. You approach the injured predator, and much to your surprise you notice that his wound has already been dressed. There is a pulp of moss and plants applied to the scratch on its side. You've never seen a dressing like this, but it seems obvious to you that the healer must have known what they were doing. There is no denying, though, that the mistling is exhausted and barely conscious.
You can actually see that in the artwork, which I think is wonderful. I don't really want to examine the mistling, but let's inspect the surroundings.
The mossy underwood around lies torn, the bushes trampled, visible signs of ferocious combat. Around the wounded beast, you spot unusual footprints, remarkably similar to those you've been following. What's interesting, you don't notice them anywhere else around, as if someone did their best to erase them and neglected only the place where the mistling fell.
Gain tracker part 1. Come on, tracker. I didn't see any time tracker there, so that's fine. Let's go to D1. The light in the shadows.
As you head forward, you notice that the forest is thinning. The travel isn't getting any easier, though, because the ground beneath your feet is gradually rising.
I don't want to go up just yet. So let's go to D66.
The path going left will most likely take you to the estuary. You feel shivers down your spine as you notice distinct angular prints on the ground.
It's interesting that they've cleared the path, but then they've left those prints. I think it's a trap. Let's go have a look at the lake.
The waters seem to radiate the healing power of the forest.
Alright, I guess we'll go to D2. It's the only one left.
You stop to catch your breath and pick up the roar of a turbulent river somewhere to your right.
Let's follow the path. Let's ask Mildred what's happening.
You look at the ranger and ask her what she thinks. She is a smart tracker, and she may have made some observations about your location. There was a mechanical bridge somewhere here, Mildred recalls. An ancient thing, maybe even built before the cataclysm, but strangely enough, still functional. You could put the bridge out with a weirdly shaped rod which protrudes from that stone. Hey, wait a minute. Where is that rod? Has he got lost? She's quiet for a second, and then she adds, and there is also a hollow tree in the area. Some mistling tend to nestle in the trunk.
Secret number there, 63.
There are wet paw prints of an unknown mistling next to a stone. They appear to be leading toward the glade with the furwing, but you notice one more interesting detail. There are wide, blurred marks on the ground following the trail. It looks like the mistling grabbed something and hauled it onwards.
We do not have the Forest Predators Part 4. No, it is not.
The waterfall is flowing freely through the trunk of the hollow tree. Driven by an odd impulse, you climb inside it, and suddenly you realize you have entered a mistling's nest. Something inside you stirs with contentment. You are not glad, though. You must face an angry mistling now.
Alright, so we've gained a second essence, and we add a young Gyadon to the pool of random enemies we can face. So that is exciting, in a way, because it's a little earth dragon. Can't see what I'm doing, but that's a big Gyadon. Very interesting. So here is the young Gyadon added to our random selection of people we can fight. All right, and now, so we're just going to leave this situation and we're going to do a random combat. I've never done a random combat before. So let me pause and have a look at the rules. Relatively straightforward. All the information is actually on these. So we're adding this guy to the pool of enemies. So we can also face a young bulb or a furwing. Now we have 2 essence, and I think that symbol there means we can just spend the essence to avoid the fight. Perhaps not. Perhaps we're fighting them. No, cool. So we're just going to fight them. I think we'll fight the young Gyadon because I don't fancy our chances fighting any of the other creatures. So let's do map 2, arena card 17. All right, a little young Gyadon. Cool. Let's see if we can tame you, buddy. Young Gyadon, taming. Yes, the young Gyadon is painted. Here he is. Look at the little guy. Me, 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 me. He goes here. Now we need to decide who we are going to face him with. A weighted show of strength. Use your special ability while having at least 10 cards. He's only 11 health. I think we'll stick with the Elkthorn. I think we'll stick with our big boy. I feel like we're going to have some more combats that may do damage. Actually, should we try and gain the Luminesca's card? So his quest is end combat without any damage. When you fulfill this quest, flip this card. We could end this combat without any damage. He's only movement 2, so we can stay away from him. Rush, attack, pierce 1, attack, pierce 1. Heal 5, heal 5. It's... This is interesting. What a great addition to the game, putting this in there. This guy will win the fight, no problems. I don't think we're going to be able to tame him and do this, but we might be able to take him down. Okay, what was the thing? Arena card 17. Yeah. Arena cards 17. Having played games like Aeon Trespass and all that sort of stuff, it feels like quite a relatively straightforward setup. So let's go Luminesca. Let's try and get out of this combat without suffering any damage. That may not happen, and this is probably the wrong call because I am going to suffer damage. But if I don't suffer damage, it's a great call. If I do, it's a terrible call. Especially if it's a lot. So let's bring the Luminesca. Place a swamp in each space. Swampy, swampy. Oh, there's a lot of swamps. Swampy, swampy, swampy. There. When you move on or are placed in a swamp, discard it, immediately end your move and gain slow. Enemies don't have that same punishment. That's very unfortunate for us. Alright. Low wavelength. Brilliance. Okay, it's a good start for us. Alright, and what is his deck actually? 2 triangles. Triangle, 1, 2, 1 square, 1 triangle, 1 square, one of those. And his special ability is on 3, and his special ability is deal damage in range 2. He's only 11 health. We can pop this guy very quickly. We can pop him in the face rapidly. Alright, let's do Brilliance. We gain 3 power. We deal 2 damage in range 2. This guy has no mystical defense. He's down to 9. What's he doing? He's cleansing weak. And then he is moving to us, and he's only movement 2. So that's okay. We will spend nothing to gain anymore. We'll spend that to move 1, 2 to there. Alright. Cleanse weak. He doesn't have weak. Rush. 1, 2. Attack. He has no attack. He's rushing us again. That's not great. The plan is awful. Blind Fury. Attack, attack. Ooh, attack. Move an opponent in range 1 by up to 2 spaces. So we can attack twice. We don't have range. Heavy Strike lets us knock him down. Young Guidon has 3 health left. He's doing an attack 6. That's punishing. Can't push him. When you move on, when an enemy moves onto it with a swamp, discard it. We just discard it. It's nothing. No punishment. I'm going to take less damage. I would have loved to have played this low wavelength to trigger attack in any range, attack, 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 move an opponent back. We could have potentially knocked him out. 3 attacks would have got the job done. So we can gain brightness and 3 power. So maybe we'll do that. We'll gain 3 power, 1, 2, 3. We'll discard the top 3 cards of our deck. 1, so that gets us a brightness. 2, that doesn't get us, that gets us a power. And 3, that gets us a brightness. We can move right now. We can move 1, 2. We could discard a card. I don't think we'll discard a card. I don't think we'll move either. So we need to have 10 cards in our discard pile. We have 5. All right, this buff head, he's on 3 by the way, with his little special. He's going to do his one, which is cleanse weak, rush, and attack +3. We'll put him there. Attack +3. So that's a 6 attack, we take 5 damage, and we do not achieve our combat quest, because we don't have any heals yet. So he's doing triangle, which is rush, attack, pierce 1, attack, pierce 1. Well, that guy sucks. But we can take him out now if we want to. Attack, move an opponent by up to 2 spaces. So we'll do a heavy strike. It's 1, 2, 3. We'll attack. And so our attack does 3 damage to him. He's down to 6 health. And then we can move him up to 2 spaces. We'll move him to there. And then we will spend 1 of our 9 power to move back. And then let's spend 4 power to do Fading Light, which takes him down to 3 health. And that triggers the first of our abilities. Very cool. And that's us done. So triangle. Rush, attack, pierce 1, attack, pierce 1. Doesn't do anything. But he then flips this and he does deal 3 damage in range 2. We're down to 9. Oh, before that happens, which I knew was happening, do I want to discard a card to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? We'll discard a card. It won't be that one. It'll be this one, spending 1. And then we go these up to here. These go away. So he's doing his triangle attack, which is rush, pierce, pierce. I can play Guardian Stance. He hasn't done a heal yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I can get to 8. Yep. We will just spend one of these to discard this low wavelength. Move this up, move this up, move this up, draw a card. And then we will take this for 2 power, gain a power, we'll apply that, we'll stay right where we are. And we now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have enough power to discard and do our special. He just does his triangle, which is move, pierce, pierce. We have Guardian Stance in play, so he's just going to do 1 and 1, so we're down to 7. We'll spend a power to discard channeling. We'll do Brilliance. 1, 2. We gain a brightness. We gain 2 power. We'll spend 4 power to trigger our special. We have 10 cards in our discard pile, and so we immediately tame that Gyodon. It's okay. I would have preferred. I would have preferred to achieve my special. We were actually pretty close. We were pretty close. So.
Lovely over. You look around, haven't been damaged too much, and can still be a dwarf.
Gain the Forest Predators Part 4. So that's the Gyodon. Tame. Cool. We'll continue the exploration. I'll pack this up.
This is the way to the glade with the suffering furwing.
I was supposed to get this green token, and you saw me put my Mystling encyclopedia, so let's go back.
The waters seem to radiate the healing power of the forest.
We do not have the time passes status. We don't have a water Mystling either. So we need to get a 7. We need to get a 7. All right, we can do it. You can do it, Deno. All right, first one is a 2. That's fine. Second is a 3. A 1. Okay. What we might do is we might use our smashing hammer, which is discard all cards drawn with an eyeball and start again. A 3. Oh, we need a 1. All right, we'll do it. No, 3. Okay, so we can play this, which is discard the card you just drew. We need a 1. We're unlikely. Come on, Dano. Oh, it's a 2. It's an 8. Gain 1 fatigue. Heal 2. Where's my fatigue there? continue the exploration. All right, so we do add a time track to the time tracker. That's the first one I've definitely seen. We'll put that in the Luminesca's thing, but we heal 2. So let's give the Luminesca up to 9, 10, because it should have healed at the end of the combat. Great, we're going to search again, because we have to.
The waters seem to radiate the healing power of the forest.
Let's do it again. We do not have time passes, so we get a free swing. All right, 7. That's a 1, and a 3 is 4, so we just need another 3. Oh, 1. Now we need a 2. Come on, Dano. Yes! 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But we do have 2 eyeballs. All right. At the end of the test, each Mystling gains a damage. However, we are going to do that because nothing preventing that. So we are down to 9 health on both. Wouldn't mind going for another swim, actually. No time tracker there. We've found token A. Maybe we should go for a swim, because we just heal 2. Swim again.
The water.
Let's just rest with our Mystlings, maybe. Heal 3 or remove 1 fatigue. We've taken another time. We'll heal 3. We'll give it to the Luminesca. Is it 12? Okay, so let's go to D2.
You stop.
We're back here. And that's great. So now we can do D23. And we have token A.
Upon closer inspection, you insert the rod into the hole in the stone. It seems to be fitting, and one could say it serves as a sort of lever. As you push it forward, you hear the grind of cogwheels, and after a while, the water wheel under the pulled-in bridge begins to spin. The stone bridge slides out to cover the entire gap. The mechanism clicks unnervingly.
We gain Secret 33, and we gain the Ancient Technology status. Nice. This one's locked now, and this one is locked, and this one is unlocked. D31. Secret 33. This is just going to be a map, a bridge, isn't it? Yes. Oh my god, there's another little mark on it, D32. I'm looking at D32.
You bend to notice barely visible talon scratches, which bear some resemblance to the marks left by shade claws. You did spot a few like that after your recent clash. Now you'd better remember them for the sake of the future.
Alright, gain track of part 3. Let's go to D31.
The path takes you toward the distant mountains, but before you reach them, there is a dark forest to traverse.
Alright, we're on the right track. We've basically skipped whatever this map was. which looks awesome. So, is there any specials on there? Oh, there is. Damn it. All right, but we're on to map 9. Oh my God, look at this. This is 9 and 10. This artwork is stunning. This is absolutely stunning artwork. This is Awaken Realms at their best. Mildred. What's Mildred got to say here?
You look at the woods to the right of the road are very thick, Mildred mentions. It is hard to get through there. Even ground Mystlings avoid this part in order not to get stuck in the bushes for hours.
All right, secret numbers. Are there any secret numbers ahoy? I see no secret numbers at this stage. Okay, let's look in 57. Let's go have a look in the water.
The pond has almost dried out, and there is little water left in it. You notice a mass of garbage under the surface, all of it probably washed here by the recent rains. If you were brave enough to wade in that filth, you might stand a chance of finding something.
We'll try. Time. Gain an item. We need some items. A lucky coin. We can just discard it to gain a silver. We'll do that. Doesn't help us at all in any other way. All right, D15, I guess.
The forest to your left is dense and dark. You wonder what hides among the prickly bushes and tall trees. You and Mildred run through all you have gathered so far, but it isn't much. Next, you decide to split up to have a better chance of finding something in the forest. Good luck, says the ranger, and she vanishes into the forest.
All right, perform a test. When you have one, for each part of the tracker status, you may ignore all on one card. We need to get a 12 to 13. All right, so we can ignore, we've got 3 tracker statuses, so let's hope. We can ignore everything on that card, so that coin of misfortune is wonderful. We use one of our tracker statuses to ignore that. We've got 6. Next one, 7. Next one, 8. Come on. 9. Come on. 10, 11. We need to get 12 to 13. 12 to 13. Come on. We go to script D35.
The clouds above your head release their pent-up anger, and the world is rapidly flooded with heavy rain. However, a strange sound penetrates the roar of the elements. You turn and discern a familiar figure playing with a shade claw, the same shade claw you faced near the dying dragon. Suddenly the figure looks around and spots you as you try to hide behind a tree. But they don't attack. They look you in the eyes and call to you. Their language resembles the sound of grinding stones, and at first you don't understand a word, but as they repeat, you start getting the message. Those are words of your own language, but pronounced with a strong, eerie accent. "Talk, but you don't understand me." The figure sighs and adds to themselves, "But this time it didn't attack me on sight. Much better encounter." You decide to respond. You speak slowly. Who are they? What do they want? "You can talk. Good. I am Scald, a second-rank gentler." As you step closer, you realize that the creature's face is similar to a human one. You also discern the feminine features of her face. Is she a female? Then you wince as you notice the deformed wings protruding from her back. As she waits for your response, she takes out a small book from her pocket and begins scribbling, sheltering it from the rain. You notice a crude sketch of you and your Mystlings. You introduce yourself. "You are human, right?" You nod in response. "So, the legends are true," she continues. "The stories of my ancestors, the training. Be aware the Fae don't wish any harm upon you humans. We want to help you and help ourselves as well, of course." You ask what or who Fae are. You haven't heard of such a term in your life. "Fae are my kin. I am one of them, a Fae, as you are human. We are bringing you salvation and freedom, so don't try to harm yourselves and stop us. Be aware of the Mystlings that manage to pass through the moon gates. They are dangerous beasts." As the rain becomes a downpour, you flood Scold with questions. What salvation? How did they open the portals? The moon gates? Why did they murder the Dragon Guardian?
I'm actually really enjoying the story. It's pitched at a. I think I said this. It's not overly complicated, but it's really quite interesting. So, yeah, good stuff. Light in the Shadow status, part 2. Nice. We do have Light in the Shadow part 1.
"When the shade of the twin moons envelops the last world, the gates of our prison will open," Scold recites. "Those so-called Dragon Guardians are monsters who jailed my kin in the Shadow Realm, and the Shadow Realm brings the end to us." She shows you her wings, residual and flightless. "They say we could fly in the past. They also say that together with humans, we raised many great cities and invented wonders. You are an apt gentler. I hope our next meeting will be more peaceful, and we will have more time to talk. Farewell, human." Then Skuld flees into the rain. You follow her for a moment, but quickly lose her. Then something blocks your way. You have seen a Shadeclaw before, but this one seems different. The outline of its body is more blurred and hazy. What's more, its behavior also seems more erratic, as if the creature were driven by something primal. Is it hunger? There is no time to ponder, though. The creature is lashing out.
Setting up a combat. Oh, do we have Empathy part 3? No, we don't. Alright, start the combat. Here we go. Map 3 and Arena card 26. Well, we healed the Luminesca because we did know that there was going to be one of these Shade Claws. So we'll take the Luminesca. Map 3, Arena card 26. That is called Crackling Forest. Yep. So I think we did this one already, didn't we? Are we going to be able to tame this guy? Who's to say? Who's to say? All right, young Shadeclaw. 147, 148, 149, and 150. We've picked up the ability to tame him. How do we tame him, Deno? Tire it out. Use your special in the ability adjacent to at least one shadow. Whenever you defeat a shadow, place one on this card. Okay. Sounds fun. The shadows don't move though, Deno, so. Alright, and what do we need for his attack? 1, 2, 1, 2, and then 4 triangles. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, feels like a nice balance, not too much happening, not too much where you're like, oh, I don't understand, everything's going on. Just feels like a nice thing. All right, so we are playing as the Luminesca, the Shadeclaw. Where's the Shadeclaw? There he is. If you have, you may spend it to move the young Shadeclaw by up to 2 places. I don't think we'll do that. All right, he's doing a square first, which is retreat, place 1 shadow in range 4. Oh, and his special is on ability 3. We'll use a black one because he's a shadow. All right. So how are we gonna get this guy? So take him to 3 or less health. Use your special ability in the space adjacent to at least 1 shadow. That seems okay. He's movement 3 though. Yeah, okay. So potentially we will. Let's have a look at what our start is. Desperate attack's not great. Hang on a second, this is the wrong deck. The wrong deck. Helps if you play your deck that you built for the Luminesca demo. Splintering Arm would be cool. Alright, let's try again. Low Wavelength, Blind Fury. Guardian Stance is interesting. Bask in Sun Rays. He is retreating and placing a shadow. That seems okay. We don't need to Guardian Stance. Alright, let's just do a Bask in Sunlight. We're going to gain 3 power. We're going to discard that to gain a Summer. We're going to do that to gain a Summer Sunlight. And we do that to gain a power. So we've got 4 power and 2 brightness. That slides up, that slides up, and that slides up. Aegis of Light. Okay, that can help. So he's just going to retreat. 1, 2, 3. And then he's going to place out a shade here. And now he's going to rush, attack, retreat. So he's movement 3. So we need to move away. Or we let him attack us. He's attack 5. No, let's just put up our Aegis of Light so we can get the healing. And we can move 3. So if we go here, we're just going to move on to that. 1, when you move on to it, discard it and deal 1 to all enemies in range 1. So he's defeated. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's fine. And that's it. So he's just going to rush. 1, 2, 3, attack. 1, 2, 3, retreat. He's going to do that again. All right. We want him to be on one of these spaces so we can trigger. No, we'll just attack in any range. So we're going to do a low wavelength attack in any range. 2 power. He's got no armor with 3 attack. So that's going to put him down to 12. Helps if you have a tracker for him. Deno? Alright, so he does the same where he rushes, retreats. Then he's going to cleanse weak, rush, 1, 2, 3. We'll go there. Then he discards all shadows. Triangle. Place a shadow in range 2, retreat. So we just need to move away. Shadows are only attack 3. We could just play Guardian Stance. Yeah, let's do that. Let's just play Guardian Stance. That gets us 4 power, which takes us to our maximum 10. And yeah, and we have that on top. So he's going to place a shadow in range 2, which is here. Then he's going to retreat. Each shadow attacks, but we're defense 3. Each shadow attacks, we're defense 3, so he does no damage. So that's the triangle done. Another triangle. So we're not going to have a Guardian Stance this time. That's okay, because I think we can attack at range 2. Yep. So we'll do this one. We will move 1, 2, up to here, spending a power. We will gain 2 brightness, attack at range 2, and gain another brightness because we're facing a shadow, so we have our maximum 5 brightness. We will spend 4 power, leaving us with 4 to do 5 damage rather to him, so he's down to 7, and we need to get him to 3. Okay. So he's triangling again, which is place a shadow at range 2, 1, 2. Then he's going to retreat. Each shadow attacks. Each shadow attacks, does nothing. Triangle, triangle, he's doing another triangle. So he's going to have 2 shadows, so he's going to rush, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So he's going to attack us a couple of times, but what have we got here? Move an opponent in range 1 by up to 2 spaces. I think I want to keep our heal in play instead of photosynthesis, so this is a cool one. This is one of the special elemental ones. I gain 4 power out of it, and at the start of my turn I gain another power. Seems pretty good. Ooh, I think I know what I should do. Yep. I'm going to do Brilliance. Just going to gain 1 power. That gains me 1 brightness. I can deal 2 damage in range 2. I will not. I will spend a single power to defeat this shadow using my elemental bonus action. Deal 1 damage at any range. I gain a damage. However, I heal a damage at the end of each turn. So that's fine. Now he's going to place out a shadow in range 2. Then he's going to move 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So if I move away, he cannot get us. And that's good. All right. Guardian stance as well. Nice. So he's going to do his triangle ability, which is place out a shadow in range 2 and retreat. Shadow attack, shadow attacks. He's now doing his special ability, which is cleanse, weak, rush, and attack. Rush, 1, 2, 3. He then does it again if there is a shadow. 1, 2, 3. And he removes the shadow, and that's it. So we have 3 power. His next card is a square, which is retreat, place a shadow. So yeah, we'll spend a power to move. One to here. And we will do an attack, heavy strike. So we're gonna, we need to do 4 damage to him. That's okay. Yep, so we'll do heavy strike, and then we'll spend 1 power, and we gain 2 power back. So the heavy strike does 3, which takes him to 4, and then we'll use our elemental exchange to deal 1 damage to take him to 3, which is the marker that we need to for the first taming condition. So we can now move him up to 2 spaces. We'll move him 1, 2. And that's the end of our turn. So his turn, he's going to do this, which is retreat and place a shadow within range 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Shadow goes here. That's the end of his turn. So we can now use our special in the space adjacent to at least 1 shadow. He's going to do a triangle, which is place a shadow, place a shadow. We're going to suffer an exhaustion. I think we're in really good shape here. So let's use Guardian Stance for 2 power, plus an extra power. We'll spend 1 to move, 1, 2. We will spend 4 to use our ability, and we're not going to deal damage. So we'll target him. We're not dealing damage. We're adjacent to a shadow. So we've triggered the second step in the taming condition. And then we will spend 1 to defeat this shadow. I don't think we actually need to do that. We heal it anyway because of our cool card. We defeat that shadow. We place 1 on the card. Yep, so let's just do that. We'll place 1 on the card, and we need to get 2. So he's going to flip his triangle. We're going to take an exhaustion into our deck. Oh, this goes here, this goes here. I think we got it, you know. He's placing a shadow in range 2. The shadow attacks, the shadow attacks. We will just do attack in any range. We'll attack that shadow, we defeat the shadow, and we get a young Shade Claw. Yeah, that's nice. That is nice. All right, taming. Go to script D38.
You stretch out your hand, and the shade claw comes forward to nudge it. There is no trace of aggression in its behavior, and, much to your surprise, you realize the creature is no different from any other mistling, despite its uncommon element. It may have been prompted to attack by a basic reason. Could it be hunger? And is it a coincidence that there is a camp nearby with some leftover food in it?
That's so awesome. All right, we did not suffer a damage, which is really annoying because if we didn't use him in that fight, we would have achieved our goal. That's so annoying, Dano. You're such a pelican. We add this card to our Mystling Encyclopedia, as do we add this card. There's so many cool dudes. I'm so excited to fight all these guys and make them join my team. Oh no, where is it? Oh, I've already seen it, that's right. And we now have the Shade Claw action cards that we can use because we have now gained access to this little guy. And I will admit to looking at his cards the other day when I fought him, he looks super cool. He looks unreal. Yes, Shade Claw. Shade Claw is ready. He's like Bonesaw. All right, script D43.
The camp is basic and temporary. You come across a gathering of tree branches where the travellers must have slept through the night. A torn sack and leftover food, mostly berries and some strange vegetables. A more interesting discovery are maps drawn in the clay soil. They fortunately survived the downpour. You see a path going south and east toward the mountains where a location is marked. A city or a cluster of buildings? You sit on the ground thinking about what you've learned today. Another intelligent race exists and came here to save humans from dragon guardians? This doesn't make any sense. Was it all a trickery of Fae, as they call themselves, to somehow achieve their ominous goals? You don't know. You must plan your next move. You feel someone's hand on your shoulder, and you jump scared, ready to fight or flee. But as you look back, you only see Mildred. The noise of your fight lured me here, she explains. You share what you found, and your story is much more interesting than hers. Several footprints and one fruit core. Together you consider what you should do next. She will organize the defense to protect the city in case Fae aren't as nice as they claim, and you cannot decide. From the map, you've learned that the Fae, if that's even their true name, are probably headed toward a spot in the southeastern mountains. They likely hide more information about the dreaded portals and the Dragon Guardians, and after something strange happened to you following the dragon's death, it's imperative you learn more. But you cannot set off for a journey without checking on Kayberg first. What if monsters overran the city, or if the earthquake completely leveled it? Before leaving the area, you must see if your people are safe. They might need you.
So we gain the time passes status, which we saw a lot. So obviously if you choose one of those, it's going to have impacts in the next scenario, which is cool. Open a random booster. I don't know why I shuffle these. I literally have no idea what any of them have in it, but let's do this one. And then we're going to draw advancement cards. This is great fun. now we've got a decision because that Shade Claw looks like a lot of fun. And I think I got some interesting shadow cards as well. All right. Erratic Torrent. Ooh, that's cool. Combustion. I don't think I have a fire one yet. All right. Blinding Radiance. Wow, that's powerful. 2 of them. Wind Tunnel, another wind element. Oh, interestingly, the Shade Claw has 2 wind. And this is a thing that you can do in deck building. If you have 2 air, you can actually include a couple of air cards. So that's why we'll be taking a legendary card. Legendary air card. Oh, yes. Starving Bolt. Stomp. Okay. Our big Elkthorn's looking more and more promising. Kindling. Oh, Nature's Patience. Interesting. That's great for the Golemo. Look at it. Shiny. That's great for the Golemo. Release Wrath. Deal X in range 2, where X is your armor. His armor can be like 5, 6 or 7 maybe. Wow. Interesting. Okay, and we also get a random advancements. So we have a couple of fatigue cards. I think we have 2. There's 1. And for the Elkthorn, he's also got 1. So 2 fatigue. So we only draw 6 cards. And we get, according to plan, Bite Back, Defensive Position. Look at that. You may discard another card. Why would you do that? That's not great. Ooh, smart approach. I'm taking that one for sure. Attack game 1's pretty good. Yep, we'll take those ones. So these are the cards we have available. And that will bring us to the end of this episode. Loving just about everything this game is bringing to the table. And another, part of that is the little, just enjoyment I get out of painting the little guys. So, yeah. All right, we'll be back to go visit Keaberg. Oh, we do need to do the world map, don't we? We're just flipping that to explored. Okay. Great. All right. So we'll be moving into mission C0 next, which is Aftershock. Great. All right. Well, I hope you're enjoying this playthrough. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see me use any of the specific Mystlings. I'm contemplating switching to difficulty mode, maybe doing that one where we can't see what's happening. That might be the go. But yeah, I'll catch you on the next episode. BigDeno out.